In this video, I'm going to be comparing another two IronGear pickups. This time it's the Rolling Mill and the Tesla Shark. They're both lower output pickups, but how do they compare? Let's find out. Hi, I'm Alexis. Welcome to Alexis Guitars, a channel all about guitar gear reviews, demos and comparisons. So this is my fourth IronGear pickup comparison video, and if you haven't seen my previous ones, I'll leave links for them in the description box below, as well as a link to the IronGear website so you can check out more information about the pickups. Now this sound test is going to be a little bit different for me than the previous ones because this time I have little to no experience with either pickup, but I think that's great because it means I have no idea what to expect. Let's take a look at what the website says about both pickups. But first, if you like this video, please do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button, and if you're new to this channel and enjoy content like this, please do consider subscribing. The Rolling Mill bridge position actually comes in two versions. The standard version, which I've got in my hand right here, which I'm going to be doing this video on, and also an overwound version, which I've done another video on, which I'll leave a link for in the description below, and also on the screen somewhere up here. The standard Rolling Mill is a modern PAF style pickup which comes in at 9k ohms in a bridge. It has an Alnico 5 magnet and is designed to be that workhorse, no-nonsense classic rock pickup, channeling the likes of Jimmy Page or Paul Kossoff. It's noted for its clarity, warm mid-range and tight bottom end. Now the Tesla Shark, which I've just installed in this guitar, comes in at 8.54k ohms in a bridge, although the IronGear website also says 8.53 somewhere else. It has an Alnico 2 magnet, and IronGear make no secret about which guitarist this is inspired by. It's noted for being an all-rounder, so I guess it does cleans as well as overdrive tones very well. We'll find out in this video, but it's particularly recommended for classic rock riffs. So they're two low-output pickups of different spec, designed with classic rock in mind. I'm really interested to see how they compare. I'll be following my standard pickup comparison formats in this video, which means there's going to be 4 sound tests: a clean tone, edge or breakup tone, crunch tone, and high gain. I'm going to give you my thoughts after each one, and also my overall thoughts at the end. To make this comparison as fair and as helpful as possible, I'm going to be using the same guitar, going into the same amp, and I'll be using the same amp and pedal settings when I use pedals for both pickups. I'll be showing you my amp and pedal settings before each sound test. Now because both pickups have a fairly similar output level, or at the very least a similar resistance level, I'm going to try and make sure that the pickup heights are the same, and I'm also going to be using a fresh set of Harley Benton strings for each pickup. So you're going to be hearing this all through the orange Terrace stamp going into the 2 notes cab M, simulating an orange 2x12 cab with vintage 30s and no post EQ. What I'm hearing in the room is the orange Terrace stamp going into this 1x12 Harley Benton cab, also with a vintage 30, so what I'm hearing in the room is going to be very similar to what you're hearing. Let's get right to it. So that was a clean test. Now, I didn't notice a huge amount of difference between the two pickups. I did notice that the rolling mill, at least to my ears, was a lot fuller sounding. I could hear nice lows and nice highs, which gave it a nice warmth and also a clarity as well. For me, the Tesla Shark had a nice high end. It sounded a bit janglier, but these differences I'm mentioning are very slight. In the room through the 1x12, they both sounded crystal clear. I did notice the hotter output of the rolling mill because I did have to compensate ever so slightly with the volume as I was editing the sound test clips together. Overall, both great pickups for a clean tone. I didn't have any preference when I was playing them in the room, but listening to the back-to-back comparison, I think I'll give the advantage to the rolling mill. On to the next test. In this edge of breakup test, I could hear more of those differences that I mentioned in the clean tone. The rolling mill was fuller and warmer sounding, whereas the Tesla Shark, at least to me, had more of a focus on the high end and less on the mids and low end. I don't have an overall favorite here. I think what this sound test showed me is that at this level of gain, they both suit different things. I prefer the rolling mill for the open chords I played at the beginning, as well as that bluesy lick I played. But in the last clip, which was that rhythmic, chordy kind of playing, I thought the Tesla Shark sounded better. Interesting. On to the next test. Now in the crunch test, I think they both sounded awesome. At this level of gain, they both had a great classic rock rhythm and lead tone. For both chord playing as well as single note riffing, I think they both offered something great, and they clean up really nicely when you roll the volume knob on the guitar back. Now I prefer a brighter tone, so I think I prefer the Tesla Shark in this crunch setting. The Rolling Mill again sounded fuller and in the room sounded fantastic, but in a band setting I do like to have a little bit less low end. So onto the high gain test. Well, I loved both of them. This was the high gain setting and they both maintained an amazing clarity. At this level of gain, they both sounded more classic rock or hard rock to me rather than a more modern sounding high gain, but at that level of outputs which the pickups offer, I think that's to be expected. I really liked both of them for single note riffs as well as power chord riffs, but I think I'll give the upper hand to the Tesla Shark for the more classic rock stuff that I played. For the palm muty and more metally riffs that I played, I'll give the upper hand to the Rolling Mill because it did sound a little bit tighter and I did hear more of a mid focus in the sound of the Rolling Mill, though neither pickups are particularly suited for metal in my opinion. So that was the Rolling Mill and Tesla Shark. I'm really interested to hear what you thought, so please put in the comments below which one was your favourite and also at what setting. Also, if you want more IronGear pickup reviews, please let me know in the comments below what you'd like to see and I'll see what I can do. So overall, I think these are two great sounding lower output pickups. What stood out as the main difference for me was that the Rolling Mill, which is now installed in this guitar, sounded fuller, and as the gain increased, it had a really thick sound, yet still maintained that clarity. Whereas the Tesla Shark had more of a focus on the high end, at least to my ears. So for the first time doing these IronGear comparison videos, I actually don't have a favourite between the two. I really think they're both great options, which are really versatile and will cover you from anything from a clean tone up until a classic rock, hard rock kind of sound. I personally would probably put the Tesla Shark in a darker sounding guitar to try and brighten it up and stay clear of any muddiness. But in this guitar here, which is one of my favourite guitars to be fair, they both sounded great, so I don't think there's a wrong answer. So thank you so much for watching. I really hope you found this video helpful. That's all from me for now. Till next time.